Saying good morning blessings is 8:43 where I am. Wherever you are in the world, I hope your morning is going great. I almost said happy Monday. Today is Tuesday. You know, the day after Memorial Day usually kind of throws everybody off, but today is Tuesday. Um so yes, I was ready this morning to set myself up for my Monday morning goals, but it is Tuesday, which is great. We only have 3 more days in a week until the weekend. For those of you that work all week, this is your short week, and so you will be off in a couple of days. Okay, you only got 3 days, three work days. So that's great. This morning, this live show is about you showing up. Keep showing up. It's about your consistency. So when you have a goal that you are working towards, or just anything that you want in life, is very, very important that you stick to the program, stick to the script, stick to whatever it is that you set for yourself. Because you have to set a goal list, and you have to write down something. You have to figure out how are you going to achieve these goals. So you have to write and construct a plan. Stay consistent with that plan. Consistency is the key. Acclimate a positive atmosphere. This is the most important step in achieving your goals, is acclimating a positive atmosphere, placing people in your life that are positive, having the ability to remove yourself from negative situations, people who are negative. So, your surroundings are really crucial to your success. People, places, and things. Who are you around? Where are you at? What are you doing? Those things are crucial to your success. I can't stress that enough. Before I was able to acclimate a positive journey and learn consistency and learn to discipline myself, this was one of my key problems, was acclimating a positive atmosphere. I'm definitely not a negative person. Positivity is everything to me. Positive vibes is everything, but it's not me. It was the people whom were around me. When you have the wrong people around you, when you're not in the correct place, these things affect your success. And so, a lot of times I would know that someone should not be in my space, and I would still allow them in my space, mainly because we were blood related. And that is something that you can't do. Because you're blood related to someone, it doesn't mean that it's okay for them to take up your space. It doesn't mean that it's okay for you to deal with them. You have to learn to love people from afar. So, because you're blood related or someone is your family, it doesn't mean that you owe them anything. It doesn't mean that you have to help them out. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to allow them in your space. It is okay to say, hey, I love you, but this isn't working for me. I have to concentrate on my purpose and what it is that God gave me to do. So that's important that you understand that. It's important that you acclimate a positive atmosphere. Consistency is key. You have to show up every day. Don't get up and do a live show or do your music once a week or once a month or whenever you feel like it. You have to get up and show out when you don't feel like it. So that's the challenge right there, is getting up and showing up when you're tired, when you don't feel well, when you feel like that you don't have the time to. You have the time. You can make the time to work on your purpose. You can make the time to work on whatever goal it is that you achieve. So if a person is saying, I really want to do this and that, but I don't have the time to do it, it's not that you don't have the time to do it. You're not disciplining yourself. So you're not making the time. A person makes the time to do whatever it is that they want to do. That's just like a person that tells you, hey, I didn't have time to text you today. Now, we all get busy. We all have busy lives. But if you told an individual you didn't have to have time to text them, that's not true. You didn't want to text them. For whatever reason, you didn't want to text that person. People do what they want to do, and they don't do what they don't want to do. So you can make the time to do anything. If there's something that you're working for and you work a full-time job, you're working 9 to 5, it's important that you take that 5 to 9 and work towards whatever goal it is that you want to do. And a lot of us have dreams and different things that we want to do, but we're like, okay, I have to work. So I don't have time for that. I have to work full time. And a lot of times when you're working full time or you're working at 9 to 5, you don't want to work the 9 to 5. You want nothing more but to do whatever it is that you want to do or whatever your purpose is. For me, myself, as being a music artist, I remember when I was starting my career in music way back in 2009, I didn't want to do anything but my music. But I definitely had to I definitely had to do what I had to do. I definitely had to still work. I definitely had to still show up and show out, because I had children, I had bills that I had to pay. So I had to show up and I had to show out. But as time goes along, if you stay consistent with whatever it is that you're doing, then you will definitely get to a point to where, you don't have to do that anymore. So let's see. I definitely block negative comments. So yes, I am talking. I do have a talk show. I have a podcast on here, and that's what I do. In the morning time, this is a morning motivation show. So I'm not going to pay attention to negativity that is in the chat. I'm just going to absolutely delete it. Either you're here for the message or you're not here for the message. If you are, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. So the importance of staying on track with your goals, that's a big thing. Consistency. I'm speaking on things that I had to work on along the way and things that I had to learn. If you are always on stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, you're never going to reach your goal. You're never going to get to where it is that you are trying to go. How do I know? I went through this. I went through this with my talk show. I went through this with my music. And one of my main mentors was the owner of an indie label that I was signed to. And he told me, he said, I just love your voice. Your voice is beautiful, but he said, you're not consistent. You do not stay consistent with your music. And that's the problem that I have with you. And I said, well, I have children. So, I can't be consistent. And he said, no, that's an excuse. That's not true. And he was correct. It had nothing to do with my children. It had everything to do with me not being disciplined. I didn't understand discipline. I didn't even understand that I needed to be disciplined to be able to, you know, be successful in that career. I just thought I could do things when I wanted to do it. I thought I could put music out whenever I wanted to put music out. Anything that was going on in my environment, I always allowed that to affect my career, to affect my music. I allowed relationships to affect my music and my career, when in actuality, those are things that you can control. We can control those things. We can control our environment. We can control how relationships affect us, affect our everyday life, how they affect our career. We can control those things. We can eliminate people out of our life. Don't act like we can't. But I was not disciplined the way that I should have. Like, I didn't, these are things that I did not know. I didn't understand these things. So as I got older, I was able let me correct myself. As I got closer to God, He showed me the things that I needed to do. So it's like, when you're confused about which way you should go, what do you need to do as far as your career, your life, different people who are in your life, you don't really understand what you're supposed to do. You probably don't have a close relationship with God. I've always believed in God and I've always had a relationship, but it's nothing like what I have today. And so when you submit to God and when you allow Him to be in control of your life and you stop trying to run things, Okay, because that's where I was with it, then you'll be able to understand what you need to do to reach those goals. I was like all over the place, dealing with people that shouldn't have been in my life. One of my major problems was always trying to take care of other people. I always put other people before myself. As well, I would always put my dreams and my goals on the back burner. So while I was still, I had my talk show on radio, I was still doing my thing. I was still making music. I was in a lot of music videos, but everything was, like I said, all over the place. Nothing was consistent and nothing was, I had no discipline. It had no discipline. I wasn't consistent and I did these things for years. So it was when I was able to get closer to God and able to sit still and listen to Him that I allowed myself to really get on track, to really stay consistent, and to really show out. And so that is my advice to you today and my morning motivation to you. Keep showing up, stay consistent, acclimate a positive atmosphere, correct your surroundings. That means people, places, and things. Do not be afraid to cut people off. The first time someone shows you weird behavior, be done with it. Cut them off. Because if you don't, every time you give them another chance, is going to get worse and worse and worse. And they're always going to do something to you bigger. And you're going to lose things. They're going to mess up whatever it is that you have going on. I am telling you from experience. Eliminate distractions, people, places, and things. Okay. If you stop now, you'll never know what could have been. Think about that. If you stop now, if you feel like this is too hard for you right now, you will never know if you could have achieved that or not. You will never know. The only thing that will be true is that you won't make it. That's what will happen. If you stop now, your only truth will be that you for sure will not make it. But if you keep going, then you definitely have a chance of making it and getting there. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for everyone that listened and have a wonderful and blessed Tuesday.